Very, very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and thank you so much indeed for joining me here once again. It's Tim's a Pilot live from the UK, twitch.tv, and also the content going up onto the YouTube channel, Jetstream TV. Let's get into this flight straight away. Bear with me 2 minutes. It's too loud when you're outside with the aircraft, with the engines going and everything else. I'll repeat myself. Jetstream TV, thank you so much indeed on YouTube for following us and coming along for the live stream today. Tim's a Pilot, and it's twitch.tv live from the UK. So we'll just get the parking brake on. We're in the Pmdg Boeing 737-600 today of Air Europa. There she is. And what a magnificent beast she is. Absolutely beautiful aircraft. Love flying this plane, I really do. So we are on the ground, runway 04 right now at Geneva, and we'll be taking a flight in an easterly direction today down to Innsbruck in Austria, in the Tyrol Valley. So bear with me, and without further ado, we just need to do some configuring on the aircraft before we leave. The FMC does need to be populated as well on the Pmdg, so we have all of the information here now. Bear with me, we'll just make a few tweaks to the dashboard. Flight director is going on, auto throttle is armed, wheel on the VS mode. We'll just select 2,500 feet per minute on the climb up. Okay, initially flying to climbing to 10,000 feet, and our speed will go to 250. Just check the lights. Okay, landing lights on, taxi lights on, and then we'll go over to the remainder of stuff. Wheel well light can go on, the position light on, and logo lights on. Okay, that's all done as far as I know. Is there anything else I need to be thinking about right now? Thank you so much indeed for joining us on the stream, by the way. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, so without further ado, we'll just jump down to our FMC view there. Just have a little zoom in on that while we get configured. Init ref, the RTE, so the origin airport today. We are departing from Lima Sierra Golf Golf. Is it Lima Sierra Golf Golf? I hope so. I really do. The lighting I've got here is not that great at the moment. Just bear with me, guys. 2 minutes. LSGG, yeah, that is Geneva. And the arrival airport is Lima Oscar Whiskey India. Lima Oscar Whiskey India. That's going into the destination right there. We're on 04 here at Geneva in Switzerland, so 04 going straight into the FMC there. Okay, departure and arrival now that we know where we're going from and to. So the departure today from Geneva, we're looking at a Bals 2 November off 04. Bals 9, should we have that? Was it a 2 or a 9? Bear with me 2 minutes, guys. Bals 1 it says, which it isn't giving us, so we'll just go with a Bals 9 November departure today. And then the arrival into Innsbruck is going to be a Tuls 3 Alpha for 26, for the localizer for 26. So the arrival is a Tuls 3 Alpha. There we are, Tuls 3 Alpha, and that's localizer 26. Then we'll look at the legs, make sure we've got no flight discontinuities. Right, after Balsi, that's our departure. So Tulsi is the arrival, Balsy is the departure, so then we're going to have to put some waypoints in between the two. So what we need, which is missing, is a light, first things first, because I can't actually read the notes I've made. Bear with me 2 minutes. Apologies for the delay. Really appreciate you sticking around, guys. Yeah, so first things first, MADEB. We need MADEB adding in, so MADEB. Select that, populate this. There we go, that's in the box. Just adjusting the headset, guys, bear with me. Don't want the microphone rubbing against the beard. Then we have Zebix. Zebix. There we are. That's going into there. Zebix, excellent. Then we've got Gapto. PTO. Populate that. Excellent stuff. And then we've got Shugib. SUGIB. Just in case you're unfamiliar with what I'm doing here, I'm just populating the flight plan for the different VORs and waypoints that we're going to be flying via on the way over to Innsbruck today. So we had the departure, we've got Tulsi there, you can see at the bottom with the route discontinuity is, that's our arrival into Innsbruck, and these are the waypoints between the departure and the arrival, which we need to manually populate into the FMC. So we've got Shugib in the next one, we've got Kogol, and that's all we've got in between the two of these. Kogol is there, excellent stuff. Right, and then we need to go down a page, we'll copy Adwig, because we've got a missing gap there, then we populate that, then we move back a page, and then we need to copy Tulsi, which is our arrival, previous page to where the gap is, and then we'll populate that. And now, that flight plan should have no discontinuities at all. Localizer for runway 14, sorry no, 26, FF26 is what we've got there for the localizer 26 into Innsbruck. Tulsi, that's a Tulsi 3 Alpha arrival, and then the waypoints in between as we roll back, and then obviously we go back to the first page, and this is our very first waypoint out of Geneva. So let's just look at our view there on the PFD. So once I hit activate, and if I can just zoom in and show you this, as soon as I hit execute, this blue dotted line is going to go to magenta, which means the FMC has accepted the flight plan. And then we're just going to get rid of that FMC warning, don't need that, and we'll increase our ND range ever so slightly. Bear with. Get this pen out my hand, it might help. Okay, so there is our flight route today. That's where we're heading initially with the right hand turn after departure, and routing direct due south. Just check the we didn't do the altitude, did we? Bear with me a minute, guys. Init ref, and the altitude today we'll probably go with flight level 300. That's fine. That's clear of the of all of the mountainous terrain that we've got around here. Okay, we'll select that, execute that so it populates. Just check the legs again quickly, See, yeah, transition altitude at 5,000 there, 10,000 by Delta 180 Juliet. Right, all good. Initially we're climbing to 10,000, everything is configured and set, 250 on the knots, 10,000 feet the altitude, 2,500 feet for the vertical speed, and without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go flying. Bear with me 2 minutes please, as well I get everything tucked away here in the cockpit before we go. Okay. Three, 2, 1. Throttle's coming up. 70% N1. Parking brake released. And we're rolling. Ladies and knots checked. V1. A rotate. Just through V2, that's a positive rate. Gears coming up. Lake Geneva directly ahead of us now on this departure. And the gear is up. Just level the aircraft off ever so slightly, and we can just bring them flaps in by 1 now. And let's get the autopilot in. Autopilot's going in. Command A is set and running. LNAV selected. Vertical speed at 2,500 feet selected. Flying direct now on our track. Delta Delta 44 Hotel is 6 nautical miles away as we cross over Lake Geneva now and making a right hand turn very shortly. Just ensure the FMC is doing what it's doing. Auto throttle is on. Flight director is selected. Let's get the rest of them flaps in. Should start retracting now. Yeah, there we go. That should help us on our departure. And there is Lake Geneva, ladies and gentlemen. The weather is set to real world right now, so this is exactly how the weather is in Switzerland at Geneva at the moment. Obviously it's not real world time because it's late at night here in the UK, so I've just rolled it back to probably late evening, I would say. We could even roll it back even further because I just did a rough. There is the Europa Pmdg 737-600 as we climb out of Geneva over the lake. Let's check where the sun is. Right, let's just bring that sun down a little bit, run it a little bit later in the evening than that, so we've got a lovely approach and nice, some nice skies to look at on the arrival into Innsbruck. Should do us. Very nice. We'll climb up through the clouds. Not really much to see today. There is our right turn. And the proximity warning of the altitude, we're now at 10,000 feet. We'll go ahead and clear the aircraft and take us up to 30,000 feet for our cruise. To ensure we clear any high ground here around Geneva. Now 30,000 feet is set and running with the vertical speed set to 2,500 feet. Flaps are in, flight director is on, auto throttle's doing its thing. Speed is at 250. As we've passed 10,000 feet now, we can increase our speed ever so slightly. We'll take that up to 290 knots. And I've fixed the bank angle problem. It actually works in the Pmdg now. That's fantastic news. Really is. And there we are over the top of the fluffy clouds here as we depart Geneva. Currently tracking south. And a right turn any second now. And then we'll be flying parallel with the airport at Geneva, so we can have a look off the right wing and see where we've just departed from momentarily. Hoping it's not too cloudy for the arrival into Innsbruck, because that is an absolutely beautiful approach. It really is when you've got a nice day, but the weather's not looking great. But we're okay, we can see bits and bobs down on the ground. Now we can't even see back to the lake because of the cloud cover, unfortunately. $16,000 feet now. 17,000, climbing to flight level 300. Heading direct Delta 180 India. 13 knots crosswind from right to left. Not doing us any harm. The ground speed currently 365 miles per hour. As we pass through 18,000 feet now, still tracking southeast, sorry. I think we could bring that sun down a little bit more in the sky. Do we want it just twilight when we arrive into Innsbruck? Might be quite nice. Might spoil the views a little bit on the way down, but guess what? That's what I like it, wouldn't you say? Just get it so it's just going a little bit orange, maybe. Going to get a couple of screen grabs as we go through the flight today, guys. We need obviously the thumbnail for the YouTube video, but if we look ahead now, which is very nice, the cloud is actually dissipating. We've got a left-hand turn due soon, which will send us off on a track to the east. There does seem to be some cloud around, but certainly not as much as there was over Geneva where we've just departed. Let's just check off the left wing. Yeah, lots of cloud that way. Well, looks like we're flying away from it, so that's good. Yeah, that bank angle. No, bank angle, it's still calling the bank angle out. I'd love to know why that doesn't work.
Bank angle.
Should I just try and change the bank angle again? Might be worth it. And I tell you what we will do as well, while I know what I'm doing, we'll get the where's the bank angle? It's on the heading select, isn't it? Bank angle switch. Yeah, we'll just switch that back there, so we've just got a mid bank angle. That might be actually nice for the turns if it works. Another right hand turn now, heading direct to Rummel, so it's heading exactly due south now, so flying away from that cloud as we pass through 24,000 feet. 4.3 nautical miles inbound Rummel with a 17 knot tailwind now, so that's on our backs with 407 miles per hour on the ground speed. Excellent stuff. Right, what I was going to do was get the cabin prepared and get some lighting in here so that we don't have issues with not being able to see like we had the other day. That was an absolute nightmare, to be honest. Where are them big light switches? They're around here somewhere, aren't they? No, 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 no. Circuit breaker light control. What's going on with that? Where's that off? Panel light control, yeah, hello. There we go. Awesome. As the aircraft still doing its thing with the lovely light just drifting in over the cockpit here, the cockpit lighting. Very nice indeed. That's our route. Excellent stuff. And then we want this lighting, don't we? Background light. Yeah, we'll have that up a bit. We'll have that up a bit when it gets darker. Brightness of the main panel bright lights. Right, is there a dome light switch in here somewhere? I'm sure there is. Yep, there's our flight level reached, flight level 300, and that's 30,000 feet achieved. Let's just see where we are now in relation to... Oh, look at the mountains, beautiful. Yeah, it's clearing up nicely as we track east now towards Innsbruck. Let's see where we are on the map, the main map for the game. 150 nautical miles now, so we're heading direct Balsy. That finishes our departure from Geneva, and then we're tracking out northeast over the Austrian Alps. And as you can see, as we fly north, that then brings us into the Tulsi arrival into Innsbruck, which flies us down the Tyrol Valley. Very, very nice indeed. 24 minutes into the stream. Going to increase the speed now that we're at flight level 300. Look at that view of the Alps there. Absolutely breathtaking. Screenshot coming up, guys. Has to be done. Bank angle fixed. Oh, I've fixed the bank angle. That works. One screenshot. Definitely having that. You'll notice it will pause momentarily when I'm doing the screenshots, guys, but yeah, it needs to be done. Look at them mountains, absolutely stunning. That little village down there that we've got on the left hand side, one of the valleys, and we'll screenshot that as well. Beautiful, incredible views here as we fly direct in Innsbruck. Right, let's increase the speed. Let's get ourselves over to Innsbruck faster. We'll get rid of the of that, and we'll up the speed to 310 knots. 300 knots. Master caution, get rid of that, don't need it. Screenshot of that as well. That's rather nice, isn't it? and then tracking off to the right ever so slightly. Yeah, there we go. Look at the views of those mountains and the light on the cockpit here. Lovely.
Bank angle.
Bank angle again. I've changed the bank angle. Why doesn't it accept it? Somebody write in the comments please guys, if you're familiar with the Pmdg, why it will not accept the bank angle that I've changed. Or is that only on heading mode? Currently flying LNAV with Command A autopilot selected. Well, as we're in the cruise, we're just heading direct over towards the arrival for Innsbruck now. We're going to be in the cruise for the next probably 15-20 minutes, I would say. It's just going to be chill out time here in the cockpit, guys. Just give you some nice views to look at, and we'll just have a nice chilled one. Why is it giving me a master caution? Fuel? Let's not stress about it anyway. What we will do, we get a nice view, we get a nice screenshot there, I think, with the mountains and the contrails. That's off the back of the aircraft there. That's rather a nice shot, wouldn't you say? Screenshot taken. So as we're in the cruise, guys, I'm just going to step away from the cockpit for 2 minutes, and just going to let you enjoy the views here as we fly eastward towards Innsbruck over the Swiss and Austrian Alps, and I'll leave you with that incredible view off the right hand side of the aircraft. I'll be back momentarily. And just like that, I'm back in the room. So what I did with one of the flights the other day, because it was quite a long distance in the cruise between obviously where we departed and where we were arriving, I actually ended the stream and did 2 separate streams, because I screen record on my phone to upload the footage to YouTube, and it cut out a lot of the cruise, it shortened the length of the video, and I'm just not sure whether or not as viewers you prefer that, so it kind of jumps forward in time closer to the arrival rather than having the full flight in the cruise like this. I enjoy both, to be honest with you, but sometimes just for time saving it's good to jump forward in time closer to the arrival airport. But on flights like today, with these spectacular views over the Swiss and Austrian Alps, it's just nice to sit and enjoy the view sometimes. Isn't that rather lovely with the sun setting in the west? Just off the tip of the left wing. Aircraft light reflecting on the cowling of the Rolls-Royce engines that we have on this aircraft and the snow-capped mountains of the Swiss Alps beneath us. Very, very nice. Well, you're with Tim's a Pilot. We're broadcasting live from the UK, twitch.tv. Thank you so much indeed for coming along and joining us here live on the stream. And this video is going up onto the YouTube channel just after the flight, and that is Jetstream TV. If you've not had a chance to do so yet, please, it would help us out, and it is absolutely fantastic knowing that we have your support. If you could pop along to YouTube, just type in Jetstream TV channel, you'll find us straight away. Hit the subscribe button if you could, it doesn't cost you anything, and even hit the bell if you could as well, and that'll notify you when new content is being released. And it's normally a video a day, or at least 3 or 4 a week, and then there's various other shorts that get uploaded every day as well. So there's been quite a few subscribers coming on lately, and that's because the content's been varied and regular uploads essentially, but I'm trying to make it as different and as diverse as possible between the flights. And we also have other games on the channel, Formula 1 2025 for example, Snooker Blitz that I absolutely love playing, quite competitive. They're quite amusing and funny videos with the commentary when I'm getting beaten. In particular, if you like to listen to profanity, be sure to check them videos out. And yeah, just Armory Forger, which I'm getting into now with the clan, so there's going to be a lot of videos on that with playing live with the guys on a private server, which is excellent. I'm actually been given the call sign of Viper 22, and I am in the transport department and responsible for flying a plethora of different helicopters in the game, so ferrying the troops in and out of war zones, you know, actually bringing in artillery and actually bringing in heavy weapons and firepower onto given targets, which is enjoyable, but I'm still in the learning phase of that. So if you get the opportunity, please check the back catalogue at Jetstream TV, and you can see all of the various games that we play here on the channel, and great videos that we've created. So yeah, if you are a subscriber, thanks so much indeed, and if you're not, get yourselves over there, give us a little subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps. It helps us out massively. Looking to get the channel monetized. Don't have anywhere near enough watch hours yet, and 1,000 subscribers required. We're on about 121. Not massive amounts, but every day we're getting new subscribers, just 1 or 2 here and there. So if you're watching this and you haven't done so already, please go along, give us a subscribe. It would be really helpful. So thank you very much indeed. Incredible views here, look at this. Bang, we'll have a screenshot of that. The light catching the peaks of them snow-capped mountains, absolutely beautiful. Isn't that lovely? Wow. Well, what can I say? Magical. So this is real world weather, guys, as it is right now over the Austrian Alps. So as it would be in the real world, it's exactly the way it is now in the sim. Incredible views, look at that. I'm going to get a few screenshots here on this flight. We'll have one of that because that's just breathtaking. Have another one off the other side. Oh wow, look at that. That's a nice shot. We'll have that as well. And then we'll also go there and we'll have one of them. Magnificent views, and it's only going to get better as we get closer to Innsbruck. Lovely. Wow, look at the detail. Look at the detail on them mountains. Don't actually need them landing lights, do we? Get rid of the taxi lights as well. Yeah. It's quite a nice screen grab. Wonderful, look at that. It's just getting even nicer now with the oranges, with the clouds just clinging to the tops of the peaks here on the Austrian mountains. Beautiful. Just going to increase the ND range here, so we can that's 5 miles, 10 miles, 40 miles, and there's the beginning of our arrival at 80 miles. So we've got about 160 nautical miles to run. Have to start thinking about the descent here now, guys, but we'll have to check the FMC very, very closely indeed for the high ground to make sure that we have no issues at all on the way down. So let me just have a quick look here. Now then, Tulsi we need to be at 9,500, so we'll just go to 10,000 to be on the safe side. That's for the beginning of the arrival, and then that's a managed descent down through the Tyrol Valley down to Innsbruck, so we'll have to keep our eye on that. We come down from 10,000 feet to 8,700 at Lima Oscar Charlie 17, so we'll keep an eye on that. And yeah, we'll just check the map. We'll check the height above sea level of Innsbruck as we head direct at Madeb now, 105 nautical miles inbound. We'll just have a quick look at the map. Oh wow, look at that. That's beautiful, isn't it? Isn't that lovely? Nose cam, yeah, we'll just tilt that down ever so slightly and we'll have a screenshot of that. That's wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Absolutely stunning. Oh wow, and so was that. And I'm going to have to screen grab that as well because that's beautiful. Look at the light just picking up just catching the peaks of the mountains beneath us. Another screenshot, guys. I'm just going screenshot crazy today. Stunning views. Oh my god, it gets better. It just gets better. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? Screenshot there. So we need to be at 10,000 feet for the arrival on the Tulsa 3 Alpha. And the localizer approach for 2.6 at Innsbruck today along the Tyrol Valley. This is going to be magical, this. It's probably just about going to be going dark as we arrive, so that's going to be very nice with all of the city lights of Innsbruck just starting to come alive with the pinkness in the sky and the sunset. Hopefully this will be timed very nicely indeed. Breathtaking stuff. Let's just see how we're doing for sunlight. Wow. 41 minutes into the stream. Thank you so much indeed for joining us here at Jetstream TV on YouTube. Tim's the pilot, currently in command, and it's twitch.tv, broadcasting live. Currently heading east. We've departed Geneva in Switzerland. We are now at flight level 300, 30,000 feet, charging along on a northeasterly track up to Innsbruck in Austria, and we'll shortly be beginning our descent down for the arrival. Okay, so 9,500 feet by Tulsi. So we're 80 nautical miles at the moment to Innsbruck roughly, so we really are going to have to begin our descent now. We just have to be very, very wary of this high ground on the way down. Okay. Screenshot that as well, isn't that beautiful, guys? Look at the views, look at them views, that is just breathtaking stuff, it really is. Okay, let's get the aircraft configured. It's just going to show us the green arc on the PFD of where we are supposed to be when we are supposed to be there. So initially I'm going to bring it down to 20,000. I'm just very, very wary of some of these peaks. We'll go 20,000 initially and we'll do a very gradual descent. We need to be at 10,000 by Tulsi. So I'm just going to increase the ND range slightly there now, so that takes us to 40 miles. And VS mode can be selected again now, and we will come down initially at 1,000 feet per minute. So that's going to take us 10 minutes now to get down to 20,000 feet. Very gradual, we just have to keep our eyes peeled. The sun is setting, so visibility is going to become less and less now as we come down, but there's mountains everywhere. Need to be ultra careful on the way in to Innsbruck. Anyway, the descent is there, it's set and running, slowly trickling back now to 29,000, as you can see. Wow, look at that. Look at the lights in the little valley there in front of us. I'm just going to go on the nose cam and show you that, guys. Just tilt the camera down and look at the lights coming on there in the valley. That's stunning. Isn't that stunning? Absolutely beautiful. Look at the colours. And that valley down there just lighting up. Look at that. Wow, that could be the screenshot for the YouTube video. I know I've taken about 10, but I mean, come on. Will you just look at that deliciousness, the magnifique that we have beneath us right now, guys and girls. Magnificent. And the colours in the sky with the sun just setting now, the valley lights, snow-capped mountains, absolutely tremendous. Screenshot done. Absolutely beautiful. That is breathtaking. Isn't that incredible? We'll have a close-up one as well. Look at that. Boomski Beats International. Another screenshot. Very, very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Right, we really, really have to be careful now here with the high ground. Right, we're just going to check the height above sea level for Innsbruck. And we've got aircraft around as well now on the arrival. Around about 100 nautical miles to run. Okay, so at Tulsi we need to be at 10,000 feet, so that currently we're heading to 20,000, but that's taken us away from the high ground now. You can see all of the peaks of the mountains here in brown. They're the real highest points, so we're actually coming away from the Alps now, so it is okay. It's going to be okay to descend down to 10,000 for Tulsi, and then we're making a right hand turn here. As you can see, this is our track on the way into Innsbruck, so again avoiding the high ground where possible and then flying down through the valley direct into Innsbruck itself. There's the airport at 1900 feet above sea level, so almost at 2000 feet, so we're coming down no lower than 4000 on the approach. And look at that, literally a minute or two to describe the arrival on the map, and the light has faded already. Wow, oh god, it just gets better and better and better. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Look at the colours in the sky. I know I repeat myself a lot, guys, but every time I play the sim, and I'm going to screenshot that now because that's just absolutely magnificent. It's just breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. That is stunning, isn't it? Isn't that stunning? Oh my god. And the sun is dipping off now in the west. I need to reconfigure this descent profile, guys and girls. Oh, look at the colours on the cockpit there with the sunset. Magical. Right, we're going to come down to 10,000. We're avoiding that high ground and we'll do it as very, very gently. And you can see the green arrow there when we're going to reach our assigned altitude. So we're going to bring that down to 10. (10,000) set and running, and we'll increase our rate of descent now to 1500 feet per minute. Hopefully that green arc will come back in on the PFD. In fact, if we make it 1800 feet, yeah, there we go, the green arc is there. We'll just check on the PFD quickly. Tulsi we need to be at 10,000, which is just a little bit further along here. So at the minute we're going to get down to 10,000 much earlier than required. So what we'll do is we'll just zoom out again on the EFIS range. Okay, 80. Do we really need 80? It gives us a better idea anyway. So this green arc here needs to be here where that star is. so we will increase our descent rate, making sure we don't have any issues with the high ground on the way in, and that's looking quite favourable for Tulsi there now for 10,000 on arrival. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. So if we zoom in on that now, we can see exactly there's the Tulsi arrival into Innsbruck itself. We need to be at 10,000 feet on reaching, so the green arc shows us exactly when we will get to 10,000. So that is our approach and descent configured absolutely magnificently, if I don't mind saying so myself. And once again, just because we've been busy, guys, look at that view that we have off the nose of the aircraft. Incredible. This is just beauty. It's breathtaking tonight, guys. It's absolutely breathtaking. Please leave me a comment on YouTube. You let me know what you think, because I've never flown Flight Simulator 2024 yet. This is still 2020, and as far as I'm concerned, can it get any better than that? I mean, just look at the detail. Absolutely beautiful. The orange of the sun setting off to the west there on the underside of the cowling of the engine. Let's see what we're looking like over the other side. Well, the sun has now dipped, ladies and gentlemen. All of the little village and town lights here in Austria lighting up beneath us. The last remnants of the sun just catching the edge of the engine there. Absolutely magnificent. Simply stunning. Absolutely stunning. So we do have some cloud on the way down. Hopefully we'll be able to keep some light now for the approach into Innsbruck. It's going to be quite tricky with the high ground, but all is good. I've flown this arrival many times, so I do know it very well. Screenshot as well, guys. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. Heading direct Gapto now, then Shugib, Kogol and Tulsi. Yeah, we're around about 50 nautical miles away from Tulsi now. If we do that, we can see exactly 50 miles, and that should correlate on the FMC as well if we were to check that. So we need to be at 10,000 feet by Tulsi. Then we're making a southerly turn to RTT, and then down the Tyrol Valley into Innsbruck. I'm going to estimate around about 15 minutes, probably 20 minutes till we're on the ground. 55 minutes into the stream now, guys. Going to get rid of that map because we know what we're doing, and we'll just have a look at these magnificent views that we have here. Fuel low warning, it's okay, almost there now. Just come back a bit here, just dim this tablet. We've got some lights on in the cockpit, that's always good. Just dim the brightness on the iPad. Tell you what we will do, we'll get these landing lights in, and we'll get the other lights in, ready for our arrival now. It's not going to do any harm, and it should light up our approach as well through these mountain valleys as well, so that should assist us with being able to see where we are, etc. Just going to increase the EFIS range there ever so slightly, zoom in on the map. Yeah, you can actually see Innsbruck is on the PFD there, is actually off to our right hand side. The runway is literally coming up on our right hand side, so we'll fly over the Tyrol Valley. You'll be able to see it off the right hand side of the aircraft very shortly. We'll have a quick look at that on reaching. Not too far away at all. And we'll begin to slow the aircraft at the waypoint just before the arrival for the Tulsa 3 Alpha. I think that's the Innsbruck Valley off to our right hand side. That's exactly the hour mark now on the stream. Thank you very much indeed. You're with Tim's the Pilot, twitch.tv, broadcasting live from the UK, Jetstream TV on YouTube, and we are currently in the descent to Innsbruck in Austria. We departed Geneva in Switzerland about an hour ago, and the views and the flight and everything has been absolutely remarkable, as you can see with the current view off the right hand wing now as we look down towards Innsbruck itself. Off to the right hand side, making a number of manoeuvres and turns that will bring us down the Tyrol Valley for the final approach onto the runway at the localizer 26 today. Just keeping an eye out on that high ground. Yeah, there's mountains and lakes there, that's okay, but there's nothing, no high ground around at the moment that's doing us too much harm. Let's just check the FMC quickly. Tulsi 9500, 9500 to FF26, then we'll go next page. 8,000, 7,000, very gradual descent to 4,000 feet, so we will begin, we need to keep it at 10,000 until FF26, then it starts to lower, so at FF26 we'll put 4,000 feet in and we'll take it from there. But we are almost on reaching Tulsa now. We are 2 nautical miles inbound, Kogol, tracking 067, 361 miles per hour now on the ground speed. I'm going to keep the speed for the time being at 300 knots because we're above 10,000, that's fine, that should get us in a little bit earlier. But once we get to, let me just check that again, lock 17, So FF26, which is here, we can start descending to 4,000, so that's fine. We'll just keep it at 10 for now. That's great. In fact, we'll take it to 9,500, which is where it should be, to be specific. And the last of the sunlight now dipping off to the west. Yeah, it will be completely dark by the time we land in Innsbruck, guys. But yeah, magical. What a wonderful sunset and that we've had on the descent here this evening. Magical stuff. That's the view off the nose cam right at the front of the aircraft. There's 10,000 feet just before our arrival at the Tulsi 3 Alpha. $9,500 feet, I should say. Let's be precise. There's our right turn at Tulsi. Gonna throw up a bank angle warning as it always does.
Bank angle.
I'm going to keep it with the nose cam view for the arrival, guys, rather than the cockpit view. We may switch in and out of it, but I just think it's very, very nice. Look at the stars in the sky, the cosmos, brilliantly lit. And as we continue turning, you will see all of the lights of Innsbruck city and the beautiful valley that it sits in, and the snow-capped mountains either side. A breathtaking arrival. It's a shame it's so dark, to be honest with you, but you know, we've had a lovely flight. Okay, yeah, so our final turn coming up shortly. We'll just increase the EFIS range there ever so quickly. There we go. And again. Okay, we'll slow the aircraft now. 300 knots coming down to 250. be surprised if we don't get any terrain warnings on the way in here, but hey ho. We keep it to the way that the FMC says that it should be. We should be very, very safe indeed. You can see where that cloud is in the centre of the screen now, where the lights are off to the right hand side. That is the beginning of the Tyrrell Valley, and we'll begin a right hand turn in the next minute or two, which will track us off down that valley. I'm going to keep the speed at 250 knots, guys, because we are going to manually hand fly the aircraft down the valley for the approach today, and we'll break off the autopilot a lot earlier than we normally would do. So we'll manage the speed ourselves on the way in today. Should be getting a right turn coming up shortly. There is our right hand turn now, which will turn us down the valley that we're looking at off the right wing. Could do with slowing down actually a little bit. If we get down to 220, then we'll manage the speed manually for ourselves on the way in. Just zoom in on the EFIS there again, and it was Fox 26, wasn't it, to begin the descent to 4000, which is coming up shortly, and we are in the valley, so we can actually begin the descent to 4000 feet now. It's 4000 set. 4000 set, VS speed, and we'll descend 1000 feet per minute, 1500 feet per minute. That should do us nicely. That should get us down to 4000, then we'll be all lined up ready for the arrival here into Innsbruck. We're about to make a right hand turn very shortly, and that will be the final turn that we make until we are on the tarmac down at Innsbruck. I've started that descent too early. I can't see where the high ground is. Bear with, guys, because there's mountains there. Oh, I'm making a right turn. I've come down too early. Bear with me, guys. Can't see a fucking thing. That mountain in front of us. That is a mountain in front of us, isn't it? We've started the descent too early. Or have we? That's our final turn. Need to check this, guys. I'm going to go back up to, where are we at, 7,000?
Terrain. Pull
Oh, it's
up.
terrain.
Terrain. Pull up.
It's okay, we'll sort it, guys. We just need to lose this high ground. Okay, and we can put the autopilot back in. See, that's how easy it is. Autopilot's going in. And we will begin the descent again. To 1,000 feet per minute. Emergency diverted. Altitude is 4,000 feet. That's on. LNAV selected. There we go. There's the lights of Innsbruck. That's cool. It's all good. We'll slow the aircraft now to 200 knots. We've avoided that high ground as we now descend into the valley itself. That was close, guys. I'm not going to lie. That's okay. We'll continue the descent down now at 2,000 feet per minute as we clear of that high ground. Let's dip in the nose. Okay, so let's get some flaps in now. Get the gear down. Not just yet, actually. We'll just lower them flaps a bit to help us slow down, which we've done. That's fine. There is the city lights of Innsbruck as we fly down the Tyrol Valley. Mountains either side. Very, very lucky there. We began that descent a bit too early. But there you go. You live and learn, don't you? Let's double check that the FMC is doing what it should be doing and that the autopilot is all done. Flight director is on, auto throttle on, PS mode. I don't know what it's doing. That needs to bring us down. What? Why is it doing that? That should be bringing us down. We're overspeeding. Okay, speed brake's coming in. Let me just zoom in on the EFIS range. I'm going to take the auto throttle out now. All flaps in there. And the runway is, Christ, we're almost on top of it, less than 20 miles away, guys. Right, bear with me. Okay, gears coming down. There is the city of Innsbruck. fly the aircraft now as we lower the nose. Okay, I have control. Let's make sure we've got no speed brakes in there. Yeah, need to get rid of them speed brakes. They're off, that's fine. There are the runway lights of Innsbruck, ladies and gentlemen. Cabin crew, seats for landing please, thank you. Seats for landing. A little bit high the profile, we'll just bring it off to the left a little bit now. Shave off some of that altitude.
Caution, terrain.
Yeah, okay, no problem. We're going to get some terrain warnings here now on the way in, but that's fine.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
Okay, nice and gentle now on the approach. I'm hoping that that's the runway lights, otherwise we're pretty screwed here, guys. Mountains to the right, yeah, it's looking good at the moment. Straight over the river, yeah, I know the approach here.
Caution, terrain.
And you can see the ski slopes off to the left hand side on the side of the mountain there, guys. Just the green slope on the left. 79 minutes into the stream now, as we are coming in on finals over the city of Innsbruck. Just levelling off now, absolutely beautiful. Gotta check them PAPI lights now, just need to
Caution,
dip the
terrain.
nose of the aircraft a little bit now, make sure the PAPIs are on, so we're on the right profile for the landing. There is some slowdown, it's rather a big city this, so there's a lot to render, but looking good on the approach. PAPI lights are looking good. 500 feet, decision height, continue.
400.
400, check.
300. Sink rate.
300, checked.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate.
50, 30, 20, 10.
And on the ground at Innsbruck. Welcome to Innsbruck in Austria, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much indeed for flying Jetstream TV. And it's raining here, just slowing the aircraft down. a turn off to the left, onto the grass maybe. And yes, we are on the grass, guys, but it doesn't matter because it's a sim. Really doesn't matter. But there's snow on the grass, look at that. Yeah, it really is coming down here. Luckily the grass is icy and we've not got stuck in the grass, that's good. Can't have it always, guys, can't always have it absolute perfect, can we? Should have put the auto brakes in. And I think we don't even need to get to the stand, guys. I'm just going to call it a day here on the taxiway. We are at Innsbruck. Not much to see, it's very dark, it's very rainy. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you once again for coming along on the live stream and for watching the content on YouTube. Jetstream TV, be sure to give us a subscribe, it doesn't cost you anything, and hit the bell icon for notifications of when we upload new content. So, from Innsbruck, as we are taxiing to the gate, I'll say farewell. Thank you very much indeed for your company again, and we will see you on the next one, guys. Thank you very much.